Streetlight blinking like it's counting what I owe. Streetlight blinking like it's counting what I owe. I came down from the avenue with my collar turned up high, but the corner boys were laughing and I couldn't tell them why. My shoes was full of rainwater, my coat smelled like the bar, and every face on the sidewalk looked farther than a star. I had a little change in my pocket, then I had less than that. The man at the counter shook his head and slid my name right back. Now the busted light on Cermak throws a yellow, sickly glow, and it knows more about my business than I ever want to know. Oh, broken streetlight money, that ain't no pocket change. It's the kind that leaves your pride out there in the rain. Broken streetlight money, you can hear it drop and ring. Every unpaid word I ever said comes back to claim a thing. I seen my woman's window dark, I seen my neighbor's eyes, I seen the long way shame can walk when it don't need no disguise. I told myself, keep moving, keep your head above the crowd, but the old lies in my mouth was getting heavy and loud. The bartender said, you still breathing? I said, barely, that's the plan. He laughed without no mercy and he poured what he could stand. I don't need your pity, brother, I don't need your church bell tone. I just need a way to square this thing before I get back home. Broken streetlight money, that ain't no pocket change. It's the kind that leaves your pride out there in the rain. Broken streetlight money, you can hear it drop and ring. Every unpaid word I ever said comes back to claim a thing. If I run, I still owe it. If I stay, she knows it. If I lie, the room grows colder. If I tell it, I get older. I put my hand against the door frame, felt the splinters in my palm, like the whole damn block was holding me to keep me from my calm. She don't need a lecture, she don't need another plea. She can read a broke down man the way a clerk can read a fee. So I stood there with my hat in hand and my throat too dry to pray, trying to balance what I lost tonight with what I can't repay. The lamp was blinking over me like it wanted me to go, but the morning don't come cheap around the place I used to know. Broken streetlight money, now it's hanging on my name. Not the cash, not the promise, just the damage and the shame. Broken comes back to claim a thing. One flicker for the bill, one flicker for the lie, one flicker for me.
She was already counting before I hit the stair. Her coffee cup was empty, but the room was full of heat. She stood there by the window with her arms across her sleeve. She said, "You smell like trouble, and you came in late again." I said, "Baby, don't start swinging till you hear me out. Amen." She laughed, one tight little laugh, not mean, just warm the bone. The kind that tells a liar he ain't hiding in his own. I seen the ledger on the table, seen my name in pencil thin, seen the way she held the paper like she couldn't trust the skin. She counted the damage, I counted the cost. She counted every promise, I counted every loss. She counted the damage, plain as summer rain. I counted my excuses, and she counted my shame. I tried to talk around it, said the night got rough outside, said a man can hit bad weather when he's trying to keep his pride. She said pride don't pay the rent, and pride don't fix the door. Pride don't keep the lights on when the landlord wants some more. That hit me harder than the whiskey, harder than the cold, 'cause she wasn't saying nothing new, just what I already told. I wanted her to soften, wanted her to look away, but she kept her eyes on me like bills that wouldn't stay. She counted the damage, I counted the cost. She counted every promise, I counted every loss. She counted the damage, plain as summer rain. I counted my excuses, and she counted my shame. You don't love a man by letting him hide. You love him by telling him where he bled. She said, "I stayed this long because I know your good side too. But don't ask me to call it love when I keep paying for you. That was a knife with no handle, clean and calm and straight. But I couldn't even argue, I just stared down at my plate. Outside, the train went rattling like a joke, and nobody laughed. Inside, we sat in all that truth and let it split the half. And then she slid the paper over, tapped my name and let me read. What she needed wasn't better words, it was a different breed. She counted the damage, I counted the cost. She counted every promise, I counted every loss. She counted the damage, and I heard it plain. The woman I kept wanting knew my whole damn name. Don't push me past that counter. There was dice in the back room and smoke in the front. The whole place smelled like old whiskey in a fight about to jump. He laid his hand on the counter, said, "You know what time this is?" I said, "I know what time trouble is, and I know whose name it is." The old piano was limping, drums was taking their cue. Every eye in that room got sharp when the truth walked through. I had one bill folded skinny, I had two lies in my mouth, and a temper like a live wire somebody dragged out south. Cash on the counter, name in the light. A broken man can't hide when the room wants a price. Cash on the counter, don't let it get loud. I got shame in my pocket and a fist in the crowd. He said, "You've been ducking me since Tuesday, now you're looking me in the face." I said, "If I was proud of my answer, I wouldn't need this place." Somebody near the jukebox said, "Let him breathe a minute, man." He said, "Breath don't make money," and he smiled that mean, thin smile again. I seen my own reflection in a bottle by the sink. Looked like a man, one bad decision away from losing every link. My woman wasn't there, but I could hear a voice in my head. "If you make this worse to save your pride, you'll sleep alone instead." Cash on the counter, name in the light. A broken man can't hide when the room wants a price. Cash on the counter, don't let it get loud. I got shame in my pocket and a fist in the crowd. I could throw this glass and clear this room. I could make one night cost me a tune, but that's how fools get famous, and I ain't trying to be that man. So I slid the bill across slow, like it burned my hand, and the whole room heard the scratch of a man owning where he stands. He took it without a smile, still enough to keep the stain. Then he said, "Come back tomorrow if you wanna feel this pain." That was worse than any swing, worse than any shout, 'cause now the whole block knew the shape of what my life was about. I walked out with my head high, which is another kind of lie, and the neon in the puddle made me look like I might die. Cash on the counter, name in the light. A broke man can't hide when the room wants a price. Cash on the counter, now the whole town knows what you owe gets louder every place you go. Louder every place I go. Don't push me past that counter. If I call again, don't answer too fast. The phone was on the table like a little black death, and I kept staring at it like a man might pray there. I told myself don't die, then I dialed with my thumb, 'cause silence gets to hollering when the night gets done. She left it on one ring, or maybe that was me, but every second after felt like robbery to me. I don't wanna be your burden, I don't wanna be your chain, but if you don't hear me tonight, I may come loose in the rain. Don't let me call twice, don't let me beg too long, don't let me make a habit out of saying love gone wrong. Don't let me call twice, I know what that means. First time is a mistake, second time's a man can't leave. I can hear your sigh through wire, can hear your patience thin. I can hear the way you close the door before I even get in. You say, what do you want now? And I got no clean reply, just a hard-earned need for your voice and a shame I can't deny. There's men who take what they want and never call it theft. I'm not that kind, but if I'm honest, I ain't much left. I got your name like a fever, got your memory like a bruise. Every time I tell myself to stop, I come back and lose. Don't let me call twice, don't let me beg too long, don't let me make a habit out of saying love gone wrong. Don't let me call twice, I know what that means. First time is a mistake, second time's a man can't leave. If I sound like trouble, baby, that's because I am. If I sound like prayer, don't trust the way it trembles. You were never mine to manage, never mine to keep. Still I listen for your breath like a man listens in his sleep. That ain't noble, that ain't handsome, that ain't no holy vow. That's a broke heart with bad manners, standing naked right now. So I'm hanging up before the night can teach me worse, before my need gets dressed up like a promise or a curse. If you see my number flash, let it die before it rings, 'cause I love you best when I don't make you answer things. Don't let me call twice, don't let me beg too long, don't let me make a habit out of saying love gone wrong. Don't let me call twice, I know what that means. First time is a mistake, second time's a man can't leave. First time's enough to ruin me. You keep saying my name like it's a way out. saying my name like it's a way out. You don't get to call me midnight when your daylight runs out. You don't get to make me guilty every time you think out loud. I held your coat through winter, I held your head through June, but you only hear me clearly when the room is dark enough for ruin. You say my name like a prayer, you don't believe in enough. Say it like a bad excuse, and then call that love. I knew your good side, yes I did, but don't make me pay for both. I was a woman in that kitchen, not a warning in your throat. Keep my name out your mouth when you ain't meaning it right. Don't drag my name through neon just to survive the night. Keep my name out your mouth when the whiskey starts to talk. You made me your last clean line, and then you crossed it in chalk. I heard the men on the corner, I heard the story spread, how you owed everybody something and you wore it like bad thread. I didn't shout your business, I didn't feed the fire, but I ain't your alibi, and I ain't your choir. You want a woman to witness while you call yourself a man, but witness means I see it and I tell it like I can. You were kind some mornings, mean some afternoons. That's the kind of math that leaves a house without no room. Keep my name out your mouth when you ain't meaning it right. Don't drag my name through neon just to survive the night. Keep my name out your mouth when the whiskey starts to talk. You made me your last clean line, and then you crossed it in chalk. I ain't your rescue, I ain't your same, I ain't the one who writes your name. If I stay, it's on my terms. If I leave, it's for good. Don't mistake my quiet for the way a saint would should. I loved a man with hungry hands and a pocket full of rain, but I won't wear his debts like they were part of my own name. So listen close and learn the truth, I never said enough. Sometimes the woman you keep calling is the one who calls you bluff, and if that hurts, then maybe it should, because I'm done being the wall. I'm the voice that says your ledger ain't the only book at all. Keep my name out your mouth when you ain't meaning it right. Don't drag my name through neon just to survive the night. Keep my name out your mouth when the whiskey starts to talk. You made me your last clean line, and then you crossed it in chalk. I was there, that's the part you forgot.
3 o'clock don't lie to nobody. I spread the paper on the table, like a body under cloth. Bills and notes and phone messages, and the shape of all I lost. The clock on the stove was humming like it knew my private code, and every line I wrote back then was a mile down a bad road. A rent slip, a loan slip, a tab I said I'd clear, a promise to my woman that I dragged through half a year. Numbers don't raise their voices, but they sure can break your spine, 'cause each one is a witness and they all belong to time. Ledger at 3, it don't need no preacher, it don't need no crowd, it don't need no teacher. Ledger at 3, it just sits there plain, showing me the debt behind the name. I saw the ones I borrowed from, the ones I let slip by, the cousin who kept quiet, the friend who stopped asking why. I saw the nights I acted bold while I was really scared, how pride can dress up like a suit and still be unprepared. I tried to sort the mercy from the damage I had done, but mercy ain't a cancellation, it just means they know you won. Now the little ring of silence in this kitchen feels like steel, 'cause I can hear what every number says about what's real. Ledger at 3, it don't need no preacher, it don't need no crowd, it don't need no teacher. Ledger at 3, it just sits there plain, showing me the debt behind the name. If I pay one thing, I still owe the rest. If I'm in one door, another gets tested. There's a shame that's loud in public, and a shame that's white and slow. The slow kind comes at night, when nobody got a show. I ain't asking for absolution, I ain't asking to be clean, just want my hands to tell the truth before they run the scene. So I fold up paper once and twice, set it by the light like a man preparing for tomorrow, without calling it a fight. The street outside is empty, but it still sounds like a crowd, and the ledger in my kitchen says the same thing, only loud. Ledger at 3, it don't need no preacher, it don't need no crowd, it don't need no teacher. Ledger at 3, it just sits there plain, showing me the debt behind the name. Behind the name. Behind the name. I ain't your story to point at. too close with that knowing face. I can feel your pity filling up the place. You think a man with bad news on him ought to bow, but I've been bowed so long I know the angle now. They call me trouble like it's written on my coat, like I ain't worked a day for every breath I told. I ain't proud of the holes, I ain't proud of the lies, but I won't be displayed for the comfort in your eyes. I ain't your exhibit, I ain't your lesson, no. I ain't some dark display you can walk through slow. I got my own bad weather, my own hard fight. I'm broke, not dead, and I know that ain't polite. A man can take a beating and still hate the view, still hate the way folks translate pain into what they do. I know what I look like from the outside in, a woman with a heartbeat and a dead on his skin. But don't confuse my damage with permission to stare. I maybe have a wreck, but I'm still aware. If I sound too loud right now, that's me holding back, 'cause the edge I'm standing on is thicker than black. I ain't your exhibit, I ain't your lesson, no. I ain't some dark display you can walk through slow. I got my own bad weather, my own hard fight. I'm broke, not dead, and I know that ain't polite. Pity don't feed nobody, pity don't wash no plates, pity just makes a man meaner when he waits. Oh, so if I come off sharp, understand the source. A wounded man don't always know a softer course. I still love too hard, still trust too late, still stand in my own doorway and negotiate with fate. Maybe that's ugly, maybe that's true, maybe that's the part of me that still walks back to you. I don't want your mercy dressed up like a crown. I want one more morning where I don't look this town down. I ain't your exhibit, I ain't your lesson, no. I ain't some dark display you can walk through slow. I got my own bad weather, my own hard fight. I'm broke, not dead, and I know that ain't polite. Not dead, not done, not yours to frame. Same door, same key. Different man, maybe. Morning don't forgive you, it just shows what stayed. Coffee pot ring on the stove, tired light through the shade. The block still got its corners, and the puddles still got sheen. But the face I saw in that water looked meaner and cleaner. I don't get a new account I don't get a brand new skin. I just get another sunrise and the right to walk back in. She was there at the table, wasn't smiling, wasn't cold. Just the kind of calm that tells you whether your life can hold. Tomorrow take the same key, same steps, same hand, same door I kept slamming, same room that understands. Tomorrow take the same key, not to unlock grace, just to prove a man can come back to the same damn place. I thought the night would finish me, thought the shame would win, thought the streets would keep my name like a debt they cash within. But shame is a bad landlord, it don't own the whole address, and a man can carry broken things without calling it a mess. So I fixed what I could fix, I left what I could not. I told the truth in smaller words and let the silence talk. She said, I don't need perfect, I need what holds by noon. And that was more than mercy, it was a room that knew its tune. Tomorrow takes the same key, same steps, same hand, same door I kept slamming, same room that understands. Tomorrow takes the same key, not to unlock grace, just to prove a man can come back to the same damn place. The debt stays real, the love stays hard, the road stays long, but I stay charged. So if you hear me on this record sounding less like prayer, no, it ain't because I'm saved, it's cause I'm finally there. There where the damage lives and still don't get the last word. There where a vow gets ugly and still deserves to be heard. I won't call it victory, I won't call it clean, I call it keeping my word inside a broken machine. The street lights still blinking, but it ain't the only sign. Now I know the dark don't own the morning if I show up in time. Tomorrow takes the same key, same steps, same hand, same door I kept slamming, same room that understands. Tomorrow takes the same key, not to unlock grace, just to prove a man can come back to the same